Ever wonder how someone grows up with zero ambition? No hunger, no emotional strength, no drive, just chasing comfort and then complaining when it's not exactly how they want it? All while carrying the belief that the world owes them something? You ask them to get a job and they cry.
You need a job.
No, I don't want a job.
They work one full shift and want to quit.
At Starbucks, and I am literally about to quit.
They get a new car and they're upset because it wasn't the one they wanted.
I never said I wanted a Tesla. I always told you I wanted a pink Mercedes-Benz.
It's easy to point fingers at the kids, but the real question is, what did the parents do to screw them up this badly? Today I'm going to give you the answer, and it will change your view of what good parenting looks like.
How much is it?
Girl, open it up and stop being ungrateful, because now you're starting to be ungrateful where you ain't got to worry about me ever
I never
again.
said I wanted a Tesla. I always told you I wanted a pink Mercedes-Benz.
Okay, well, I couldn't get the Mercedes-Benz, so you
And
got
then
that.
This is all you gave me for my Sweet 16 and my golden...
So what that is, that's $1,600 for
That's it for my Sweet 16 and my golden birthday?
Well, what did you
And then
want?
you gave me the truck
That's your Mercedes.
That's not my car.
That's your Mercedes.
Okay, and I will walk. I'm not driving that.
You're driving that because you was ungrateful about the Tesla. No, you're not getting the Tesla now. You said you wanted a Mercedes, and here's your Mercedes.
Okay, well, I'm not driving it, so take it back from wherever y'all got it.
No, you're gonna drive. Go look at it now.
You think I'm driving this?
Oh, you most definitely. Girl, check it out. Go on the other side.
No, it's gonna look the same from this side.
No, go check it out. Right, it got dings and scrapes. Because guess what? When we tried to get you a nice car, you didn't want that one. And your dad don't kick it, girl. You better keep your dang feet off of that.
This is what a spoiled, entitled kid looks like. And this reaction is what happens when everything is handed to you. When you grow up getting things without effort, you don't just lose gratitude, you lose your ability to assign value to anything. Because it doesn't matter how expensive something is. If it came easy, it feels disposable. You didn't earn it, you didn't sacrifice for it, so it holds no weight. And once that becomes normal, even luxury feels boring. Deprivation is what creates desire. If you were never allowed to feel hunger, would you ever learn the value of food? The satisfaction of a hot meal comes because of the emptiness that came before it. Take away the hunger, and you kill the appetite. Kids like this are not just ungrateful, they're restless, always chasing more, always dissatisfied. When you set the expectation that high, that young, there's nothing to aim for and nothing to get excited about. Value doesn't come from the thing itself. It comes from what you had to go through to get it.
Mr. Benny, sir, you show that you're suing your father for $60,000 for emotional distress. Am I reading this correctly?
Yes, Your Honor, that is
You
correct.
mind telling the court what happened?
Oh, it's a long story, but pretty much.
I need you to speak up just a little bit, sir.
Okay. Oh, it's a long story. Pretty much my father promised me a great reward, for all the great things I've done growing up. And, he always promised me if I did well in the classroom, well in sports, he'll reward me greatly. And, now that the time is here, I'm of age. He's not keeping his promise.
How old are you now, sir?
I just turned 21, December
21.
17th.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. And, my birthday and Christmas happen to be, kind of close together. So usually years in the past, I would get a gift for both my birthday and Christmas. But as of recent, he's got a pay raise. And, with that comes, greater rewards, as he's promised me. And, as for my birthday, 21 is a big deal. And I asked for, a luxury car, a Lamborghini.
I'm sorry, you asked for what now? A luxury car?
Yeah, luxury car.
For your birthday?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is what happens when you reward a kid too much for doing nothing. Not only do you kill their ambition, you build expectation.
Okay. What type of luxury car are we talking about?
Anything from a Porsche, Lamborghini, Ferrari. I have standards, and it's important to have standards in life. And what he gifted me wasn't any of those. I got a basic electric vehicle, if you can call it that. It's not really a vehicle, I would say. First, you can't hear it. It has no motor, no engine. Two, you have to charge it. If I wanted to charge something, I could easily just charge my phone. And yeah, it's just.
If you wanted to charge something, you can just charge your phone.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't see why I have to charge my vehicle if I can easily just have something better that I can just put gas in and go. I don't have to sit around and wait to charge a vehicle. Doesn't make sense.
I'm curious, Mr. Beanie. Where do you reside?
With my father.
You stay in his house.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
When you don't earn anything, you don't value anything. That's what entitlement looks like, expecting luxury as a right. This guy's 21, still living with his parents, and he's suing his father because somehow he believes he deserves a Lamborghini. That level of arrogance is embarrassing, but this mindset is built over time. You give your kid everything they want without effort, and they stop seeing it as a privilege. They expect it, they feel owed, and eventually they believe they're above being told no. It doesn't end with money or things, it spreads into how they see themselves. They start demanding praise, attention, and approval for doing nothing. They believe they're amazing because they were always told they were, and deep down, they know they didn't earn any of it. That's where the insecurity comes from. When you've been propped up your whole life, you don't feel confident, you feel hollow. So now they chase approval, not because they believe in themselves, but because they can't function without it. This is what happens when you flood a kid with comfort, but never teach them how to become capable.
You need a job.
No, I don't want a job.
Well, I know.
It's so much work. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, absolutely, she needs a job.
No.
And I think it would be great if you volunteered some more at the soup kitchen. You could do some great volunteer work down there.
She's crying because she was asked to work. When you've never had to earn anything, the idea of effort feels scary and painful. The smallest responsibility feels overwhelming because comfort is all you've ever known.
I'm one of those people where I don't care how broke I am. I will never want extra hours at a job. I will never cover for anyone. I really want to work as least as possible. Whenever bosses say, do you want extra hours, or like, do you want to work these days? Absolutely not. And I hate when they act like they're gifting it to me. Like, would you like more hours? That is like throw up to me. Absolutely. Like, I really would love less hours. I would rather be extremely broke with free time than rich and working all the time. I really hate working.
She wasn't born lazy. She was conditioned to believe that effort is a threat to her freedom, that any demand on her time or energy is unfair. She was never taught that responsibility builds strength. She was taught that comfort is the goal. So she avoided challenge, chose ease, protected her free time like it was sacred. But that comfort is a trap. You can avoid work for a while, but eventually the bills pile up, the options shrink, and life stops waiting. By skipping the hard work early on, she never built the tools she's going to need. No discipline, no drive, no resilience. Her parents thought they were being kind by making life easy. They never let her struggle, so she grew up thinking comfort was normal. But life is going to teach her the lesson they never did, and is going to teach it the hard way.
People wonder why we need a union at Starbucks, and I am literally about to quit. Like, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but, like, I really want to. I almost walked out today, and I'm crying in the back room right now, and I almost cried on the floor. It's just, I'm like a full-time student. I get scheduled for 25 hours a week, and on weekends they schedule me the entire day, open to close. I'm on the schedule for 8.5 hours, both Saturday and Sunday. I'm like 3.5 hours into my shift. There's so many customers, and we have 4 people on the floor all day. Only 5 people were put on the schedule, and somebody had to call out. And there are 4 people running the whole store, and there's so many customers, and there's possibly scheduled 5 people. We only have 13 people employed at this store, and there's so many customers. I'm like, we don't have fair scheduling. Managers don't care about us. Our manager was supposed to come in this weekend and he took himself off the schedule so he wouldn't be able to be held accountable for calling out. He just literally tore down the schedule that he was scheduled on and put up a new schedule where he wasn't on the schedule. Also, he couldn't have even seen that he was scheduled in the first place because he didn't want to be held accountable for not wanting to come in. They don't want to help us. We need a union because this can't happen. This can't happen. We need fair scheduling. We need managers to hold themselves accountable for helping their workers. They refuse to turn mobile orders off. We need the liberty to be able to do that because there's so many mobile orders and I need to get through all of them. And then people are yelling at me because I don't have their orders ready and they don't know what to do. And a customer was misgendering me today, like really badly. I didn't have their order ready. And so they were just like talking like each other and they're like, she's clearly incompetent. I have a full mustache and beard. What the fuck? I don't get accommodations for being neurodivergent. I don't, like I can't use, people get mad at me for using my sick time. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm like at my wit's end with this job.
You'd think from the way he's speaking that he's in a war zone. Gunfire in the distance, blood on the walls, bodies scattered across the floor. But no, he's just been rostered for an 8-hour shift at Starbucks, and he's losing his mind. This is the outcome of a generation raised to fear discomfort, where stress is treated like trauma and difficulty feels like abuse. He's not under attack. He's just never built the muscle to withstand anything hard. Too many customers, not enough breaks, a little bit of pressure. That's all it takes to cause a full emotional breakdown. But it didn't start here. It started long before, with parents who thought love meant protection, who stepped in too soon, removed the struggle, made everything soft. They thought they were being loving, but shielding your child from difficulty doesn't help them. It makes them weak. It's like stopping a toddler from learning to walk because they might fall. They don't fall, sure, but they never develop the legs to stand. If you want to serve your child, you don't remove the pressure. You expose them to it, deliberately. You let them feel stress. You let them fail. You let them push through. Because emotional strength isn't taught, it's trained. And it only grows when they're exposed to struggle, just like muscles grow when faced with resistance. Completely shielding your child from difficulties is actually abuse, just in a different form, because they never learned the tools to cope with life. This isn't a global issue. You don't see this kind of fragility in kids who had to walk 5 miles to school, or those who live in villages where children fetch water before sunrise. You see it in homes where everything was handed down and nothing was earned. We've raised a generation that believes comfort is normal, effort is optional, and struggle is unfair. But the most successful people didn't come from comfort. They came from adversity. Steve Jobs was abandoned at birth, dropped out of college, slept on floors, and lived off charity meals. Oprah was abused and raised in poverty. J.K. Rowling was a broke single mother, rejected again and again. Elon Musk was beaten unconscious and fled South Africa with almost nothing. They weren't cushioned. They were carved by hardship. They became billionaires because struggle gave them the tools to build. Pressure builds strength. Lack creates hunger. Discomfort, when faced, creates capability. Most parents think they're helping by giving their kids comfort and shielding them from pain. They're not. Parenting isn't about removing pain. It's about preparing your child to face it. The world won't hand them comfort or praise them for showing up. It will test them. And if you've protected them from everything, they'll fall apart when it does. If you want to turn your child into a loser, give them everything and protect them from every discomfort. They'll grow up valuing nothing, expecting everything, and breaking the moment life gets too hard. As the writer Robert A. Heinlein once said, "Do not handicap your children by making their lives easy." If you found this video insightful, you might like another one on a similar topic. Click on the thumbnail to watch or keep exploring. Also, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel.